Hey guys, and welcome to another video in my C++ tutorial series. In the previous video, we talked about operators and how they are used in C++, so make sure you check it out. If you are new to this channel, you can also check out our playlist on C++ right in the description below. So today we are talking about a very important aspect of C++, that is control statements. Now, control statements are basically functions that enable the code to run lively, else the code will just continue running without thinking through its steps. So a very important control statement, and the one we'll be talking about today, is the if statement. So what is the if statement? The if statement is basically a control statement that takes in a certain condition and uses it to perform a specific task or produce certain results. In simple terms, the if statement enables your code to make decisions based on parameters you set it to. So we are going to go straight to the code, and I'm going to show you a practical way of using the if statement. We are also going to include taking inputs into C++. So if you haven't watched that video on input and output in C++, make sure you also check that video as well. So as you can see from the code we have on our screen, this is a typical if statement usage. So you can see that we have the int age variable that is declared over here, which is empty, and then we have the output cout, which is telling the user to enter the age. Now we have C in here that is going to take input from the user, that's the age. So again, if you haven't watched input and output in my tutorial series, make sure you check it out. So basically what this part of the code says is that there's a variable called int age, which is empty, and this is going to prompt the user to enter the age, and then the cin is actually going to take the data and store it as age. So now this is where the if statement comes into full play. So the if statement over here has these brackets which serve as the parameter. So it says if age is greater or equal to 18, then you can print out you can vote. So this statement will be printed if this condition holds. As I was saying, if statements always have to do with conditions, and this is a classic condition operator. So if you haven't watched my video on operators, make sure you check it out as well. So when this condition is satisfied, this is the outcome, or this is the result. Now if there is an alternate response, let's say the age is less than 18, we don't have to come and write another if again. We will just say else cout, you are too young to vote. Meaning if there is any other input that is less than 18, then this should be your outcome. So basically this entire code is a code to determine whether a person is eligible to vote or not. So we are going to run it and see how it works. So as you can see, the user is prompted to enter the age. So I'm going to go ahead and enter my age. And then it's displays to me, you can vote. This is a very simple code, very easy to run and very fun. So we are going to go deeper into the if statements and explore if else. Okay, so in the code now, we can see the if else statement, and now this is like an alternative to the original if. So it's basically saying that if this function works, if this condition is met, then executes this. If else, then executes this instead. And if none of these conditions are met, then you show invalid entry. So I'm just going to run the code here, and then I'm going to enter 12, and it still runs as you are too young to vote. So basically that's all about if statements and if else statements in general. So if you want more of this, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this with someone who has the same problem with the if statements or wants to learn a beginner friendly version of using control statements. So in the next video, I'll be talking about more control statements such as switches and loops. So stay tuned. Thank you very much for watching and have a nice day.
Shake the week off, feel alive. Jeans ripped at the knee, lipstick stains on whiskey. Neon lights through Uber glass, laughing at our working class, Monday's problems fade to gray. Weekend vibes won't